Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are looking at a really specific slice of time, late February 2026, because it really feels like we're watching history being made, legends linking up, and honestly, in some corners of the internet, an absolute meltdown.
It really is a convergence of events.
Yeah.
Usually when we look at pop culture or sports, we see these isolated incidents. But right now, we're seeing a perfect storm that illustrates the absolute peak of cultural dominance, just across three very different fields.
Exactly. I mean, we're talking about a snapshot where the definition of celebrity is being stretched in three completely different directions. So on one hand, you have the relaxed, almost regal retirement of sports icons over in Italy. Then you shift gears and you have the high-pressure, data-shattering dominance of K-pop on a global scale.
Right.
And finally, the chaotic, friction-filled reality of digital privacy wars.
It's a fascinating spectrum, isn't it? Because you have the retirement glow on one end, which is total peace, and then the absolute pressure cooker of modern fandom on the other.
So our mission for this deep dive today is to unpack these three massive moments for you. We're going to look at an in-depth report from the CB list covering the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan. Then we're going to dissect some historic YouTube data in the K-pop industry. And finally, analyze social media surrounding a very loud, very public conflict involving Cardi B and her fan base.
And the goal here isn't just to recap the news. We want to connect the dots. Like, what do these three moments tell us about legacy? What do they tell us about who actually owns a celebrity's life? Is it them, or is it the fans who put them there?
That is the big question. But before we get too philosophical, let's start with the visuals. Because honestly, the scalding tea coming out of Milan right now is something out of a movie.
It really is. The 2026 Winter Olympics.
Alon. Okay, let's set the scene for you. It's winter in Italy, the fashion capital of the world. The entire globe is watching the games. And yet, one of the biggest headlines isn't even about an athlete who is currently competing. It's about a spectator.
Tom Brady.
The man just will not fade away. And I don't mean that in a bad way at all. It's just, he is everywhere.
Well, think about why that is. Brady isn't just attending these games. He's essentially holding court. There was a specific sighting during the USA versus Canada hockey game that really captured this. It wasn't just a celebrity sighting, it was a summit.
Right, the Jew-weight summit.
Exactly. You have Tom Brady sitting shoulder to shoulder with Wayne Gretzky.
Okay, let's just unpack that visual for a second. The sheer amount of aura in that VIP box is absolutely ridiculous. You have the undisputed greatest football player of all time and the undisputed greatest hockey player of all time just hanging out, watching hockey.
It's a hugely significant image. If you think about sports history, usually when you get two alphas of that magnitude in a room, there's a bit of competitive tension, right? They're sizing each other up. But here, the dynamic was completely different. The sources describe it almost as a passing of the torch moment, but not in the sense of playing.
Right, because Brady is officially retired here. He's not prepping for a season or anything.
It's about ambassadorship. Gretzky has been the elder statesman of sports for a long time. You know, the guy who shows up, waves, and blesses the game. Brady is stepping into that role now. He's transitioning from the guy you either loved or hated because he beat your team to the guy everyone respects because he essentially is the sport.
And what I loved was seeing him actually act like a fan. There's that clip that went absolutely viral where Team USA scores a goal and Brady just loses his mind.
The fist-pumping video.
Yes, he's screaming, he's high-fiving strangers in the box. It was so normal.
That's the key right there. It humanizes him, but it also signals a massive psychological shift. We're calling it the retirement glow.
I love that phrase, retirement glow. It sounds like a skincare product, but it's a whole vibe.
It is a vibe, but it's also physiological. I mean, for over 2 decades, Tom Brady's life was defined by cortisol, adrenaline, strict diets, and this intense, crushing pressure to win. Every single day was a battle. And now, the battle is over. He won.
So now he can just exist.
Precisely. The observation from the ground is that he looks relaxed in a way we've never seen before. He looks happy. And crucially, he looks unbothered.
You know, there were all those rumors swirling around him. People expect a superstar like that to immediately jump into a new power couple situation. Like, who is he dating? What's the next business move? We as a culture want him to keep churning out content for us.
But he's not playing that game anymore. The report suggests he seems effectively married to the game of life. He's not chasing the headlines. The headlines are following him because he's genuinely enjoying himself. He's realized he doesn't need to be the main character in the drama anymore to be the most important person in the room.
That is a level of freedom that very few people ever reach. It's almost like he's finally getting to be a fan of sports again. after being the focal point for so long.
That's a great way to put it. And it contrasts so sharply with the other stories we're going to discuss today. Brady has reached the mountaintop, he's planted his flag, and now he's just enjoying the view.
Before we move on, though, I have to mention the question that the CB list posed regarding this meeting. If you were in that box with Brady and Gretzky, what would you ask them?
It's a high-pressure scenario.
The consensus seems to be that you ask Brady about his skincare routine, because apparently the man just does not age.
It's funny, but it's also part of the brand, isn't it? The longevity, the wellness, even his glow is on brand. But let's pivot. Because while Brady is enjoying the quiet luxury of Milan and the peace of retirement, there is a storm brewing in the music world that is the complete opposite of quiet.
Oh, absolutely. We are going from the ice rink to the absolute heat of the K-pop industry. We need to talk about Blackpink achieving the impossible.
We do. And we need to talk about scale. Because sometimes numbers in the music industry can feel a bit abstract, streams, views, it all sort of blends together. But this data point is hard, concrete, and historic.
Wait on us.
Blackpink has surpassed 100 million subscribers on YouTube.
100 million. That's the population of a large country. That is nearly a third of the United States population just subscribed to one channel.
It is staggering.
Yeah.
And to put it in context, they are the first music artist in history to touch this number.
Wait, really? The first? Even with everyone else out there?
Everyone. They have surpassed Justin Bieber. They have surpassed Taylor Swift. They have surpassed BTS. They stand alone at the top of the mountain.
That is massive, and it's something about the power dynamics of their fandom, doesn't it?
It's a huge testament to the Blink fandom, absolutely. But it also speaks to the difference between a listener and a fan in the modern era. In the West, we often have casual listeners. You might like a Taylor Swift song, but are you creating multiple accounts to subscribe and drive up metrics? Maybe not. In K-pop, and specifically with Blackpink, the fandom is mobilized. It's organized labor.
They treat it like a job, like we need to get them to 100 million right now.
Exactly. You don't hit 100 million by accident or just by having catchy songs. You hit it because you have an army behind you. But here is where the data gets really interesting and, frankly, a little stressful if you're a fan.
Yeah.
This record didn't happen in a vacuum. It happened right before a deadline. Literally.
Right, because this massive milestone occurred just days before the release of their new mini album, which drops Friday, February 27th, and it's titled Deadline.
And the timing is impeccable. But there is a massive debate happening within the fandom right now regarding the tracklist teaser. Specifically, the title track, Final Hour.
Okay, let's unpack this, because you have a group that has been around for a while. They're approaching that legendary status. You drop an album called Deadline. The single is Final Hour. If you are a fan, panic ensues, right?
It does. And this connects to the broader anxiety in K-pop, known as the 7-year curse. Historically, most K-pop groups disband or lose members around the 7-year mark because that's when their initial contracts expire. Blackpink has already pushed past that, but the fear remains.
So there are two prevailing fan theories here. Theory one is the fear theory. Is this a disbandment hint? Are we looking at the last project?
Which would be a heartbreaking paradox. To hit 100 million subscribers, the highest peak in history, and then immediately wave goodbye.
That would be the ultimate mic drop, but it would be devastating for the fans.
But then there is theory two, which frankly makes more business sense. It's the concept theory.
Meaning it's just a vibe.
Exactly. It's an edgy concept. Blackpink in your area. Time is running out. The urgency of the music. It's about creating scarcity. Like, you better listen now because it's the final hour.
Basically, the sentiment is you don't hit 100 million subscribers just to quit. You do it to dominate.
That's the logical take. When you have that much momentum, more than anyone in history, you usually ride the wave. You don't crash it into the shore intentionally.
And looking at the visual details they've teased, it seems to support the dominance theory. The music video teasers are being described as movie-quality sets. We're talking cyberpunk vibes, potentially a whole heist concept.
Which fits perfectly. A heist. They are stealing the scene. They are taking the record.
High budget, high stakes. And there are specific shout-outs to the members getting hyped too. Lisa apparently has a new hair color that is already trending globally, and Rosé's vocals in the snippet are being described everywhere as angelic.
It sounds like a victory lap, not a farewell tour. But the anxiety in the fandom is real, and I think that anxiety connects really well to our next topic.
How so?
Well, with Blackpink, the fans are anxious about the future of the group. They are reading into titles and lyrics to understand what's happening because they care so much. But in our next story, that reading into things crosses the line from caring to deeply invasive.
Oh, you are talking about the nuclear drama with Cardi B.
Yes, if Blackpink is about professional dominance and the pressure of staying on top, the Cardi B situation is about the total erosion of personal boundaries.
This story is wild. So let's set the stage for you. Cardi B is known for being open, right? She's on Instagram Live all the time. She talks to her fans like they're her friends. She has built her entire brand on this raw transparency.
Which is a double-edged sword.
Clearly. Because this week, she reached an absolute breaking point involving her relationship with NFL star Stefon Diggs. And this wasn't sparked by a tabloid report. It wasn't sparked by a photo of him with someone else.
No. And this is where the social media analysis aspect really matters. It was sparked by data analysis by her own fans.
The Barda gang.
Right. The fans were essentially conducting a forensic audit of their social media activity. They were scrutinizing things like, why didn't he like this specific post? Why wasn't he seen at this specific event? She posted a sad song lyric, so does that mean they broke up?
So they were basically writing.
And fiction. Exactly. They created a narrative out of thin air about a breakup that hadn't even happened.
And that is what triggered the reaction. I mean, we really have to talk about parasocial relationships here.
Right, so to define that, it's a one-sided relationship where one person extends emotional energy, interest, and time, and the other party, the celebrity, is completely unaware of the other's individual existence.
Yeah.
The fans feel like they know Cardi. They feel they have a right to know if she's single or taken, happy or sad.
Because they feel like they made her.
Partly. The tension here is between fans feeling entitled to a celebrity's personal life versus the celebrity's right to privacy. The logic from the fandom is often, we buy the albums, we stream the songs, we fight for you online. In exchange, you owe us your life.
Right, but the idea is that celebrities owe the public entertainment. They owe us music or touchdowns, but not a 204/7 live stream of their relationships.
Exactly, and Cardi was not having it. The reaction was furious. She went on her live stream and literally yelled, "Get off the internet, y'all scare me."
That phrase, "y'all scare me," is profound coming from a megastar who usually fears absolutely nothing. It shows that the collective obsession of the internet has become something monstrous.
She was basically asserting, we are fine, we are happy, but the fans wouldn't let it go. They didn't believe her.
That's the paradox. She's saying, I am happy, and the fans are saying, no, looking at the data, we've decided you aren't. It's wild.
It's gaslighting on a global scale. But then we get the twist. Because with Cardi, there is always a twist.
The ultimate mic drop moment.
Yes.
10 minutes. 10 minutes after screaming at her fans to back off and stop inventing drama, Stefon Diggs posts a vlog.
A gym vlog.
A gym vlog. The two of them sweating, grinding, working out together, just looking like the ultimate power couple.
It effectively silenced the rumors instantly. It was visual proof. Here we are. We're together. We're fine.
But the social media analysis leaves us with this lingering question. Was this a genuine mental breakdown caused by fan pressure? Or was it a marketing genius move to get people talking right before she drops new music?
Because drama sells.
Drama sells. And she has new music coming.
It's the cynical but necessary question the sources bring up. Did she know that Rant would go viral? Absolutely. What? Did she know it would get everyone searching for her name and Stefon's name right before a drop? Yes.
It's playing 4D chess with your own life.
Or is just making the best of a bad situation. But it highlights that even when you are happy, as she claims, you have to prove it to the world or the world will invent a tragedy for you. In the old days, you could just go home and lock the door. Now, the fans are virtually inside the house checking the likes on your phone.
That is a terrifying thought, having to provide receipts for your own happiness.
And if we step back, that connects all three of these stories perfectly.
Let's bring it all together then. How do we synthesize this deep dive?
Look at the trajectory of control. We started with Tom Brady in Milan. He has totally regained control. He has the relaxed ambassador vibes, the retirement glow, because he has stepped out of the arena. He doesn't need to prove anything. He can just be. Right. Then you have Blackpink. They are at the absolute peak of their powers, breaking historic records, hitting 100 million. But they are fighting to maintain control under high-stakes pressure. They are releasing Deadline and Final Hour, titles that suggest a battle against time and expectation. They are trying to dictate their own legacy before the industry decides it for them.
And then you have Cardi.
The volatile end of the spectrum, where the control has been lost to the crowd. The relationship between the star and the fan is almost combative. The fans love her, but they also want to consume her personal life. And she has to fight back, screaming on live, posting proof of life, just to maintain her reality.
It's like 3 stages of fame: the struggle to gain it, the struggle to survive it, and the peace of finally letting it go.
And in all 3 cases, the internet is the amplifier. It amplified the aura of the Brady and Gretzky photo, making it a global moment. It amplified the subscriber count for Blackpink, making them historic. And it amplified the conspiracy theories about Cardi's relationship, making it toxic.
So, leaving all this with you, the listener, what does this all mean? Why does this matter beyond just celebrity gossip?
I think it raises an important question about our role as consumers. When we look at these stars, what are we actually asking of them?
Right.
With Brady, we finally allow him to just smile. We accept his happiness because he earned it after 20 years. But with Blackpink and Cardi, we are demanding. We want them to be the biggest, the most open, the most available.
Even if it burns them out.
Exactly. We need to consider if the retirement glow is even possible for modern stars like Cardi or Blackpink. Tom Brady comes from a pre-social media era. He adapted to it, but he wasn't born in it. Can a star born on the internet ever truly disconnect? Or has the game changed so much that you can never turn it off?
That is the final provocative thought I want to leave everyone with today. In an era where 100 million people can subscribe to your channel and strangers are literally analyzing your boyfriend's likes on a Tuesday afternoon, is it actually possible to have a retirement glow? Or is the drama just the price of admission for the ticket we all bought?
It's a very high price. And it suggests that maybe the final hour isn't about music at all, but about privacy itself.
Heavy stuff. But that's why we do the deep dive. We take the headlines and find the pulse underneath.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We'll be watching the charts, the games, and the live streams, so you don't have to. Catch you on the next one.